Hello, and welcome to my channel. This is Elise here at Plan with Elise. I'm really excited today because I have three new products from Laurel Denise to share with you. The academic launch is on April 9th at 12 p.m. Eastern. Code Elise10 will give you a discount. And as an affiliate, I had an opportunity to purchase products early to be able to get in time to share with you. And I was actually good. I only purchased three products this time, but they were three new products that I was really intrigued by and I wanted to show you and play around with. So we actually have two book-bound planners, which I'm really excited about. I can't stop touching them. They're like this really cool soft velvety material. And then there's also a new pop-up planner. So I actually want to start with this. And we're gonna pull it out of the box. I love the Laurel Denise boxes. They're so good. The packaging is so good. Let's open this. I'll be back when all this noise stops. So this is something that I've never seen before. Here's the back of it, and then we have the front of it. And I'm gonna turn this over. This is like a top, coil. And then we're going to put this down. So you can kind of see that it would stand on my desk like this. It's hard to show like with this angle of camera, but it's going to stand on the desk like this. Now, when we open it, you have the welcome page. Let's move my coffee over. Actually, let's take a sip of the coffee. And then we have some before you begin sections. You have the planner, and then you should notice down here are the monthly tabs. So now we have a whole overview. This is a July start planner, and it goes until June 2026. And then we have the July tab. Now, here's what's so cool about this. You have the whole month, and then you're going to have weekly to-dos. It's almost like the Laurel Denise portrait planner. It's like the Laurel Denise portrait planner, but it's pop-up. So when I'm sitting here at my desk, I can have this and looking at it. It's so hard to show this way. Sorry. Maybe we'll do another clip, but it's something that can just stand up. I think it would also be really helpful as like a home central hub thing, if you like planner calendar, if you wanted to have it in a place that everyone in your family can see it. But it's nice because I can easily lay it flat like this and fill it out, but then pop it up to be able to look at. So each week you're just going to have these lines. I believe you can choose a Monday start or a Sunday start. I chose a Monday start. So when it comes to Laurel Denise planners, you can always choose Sunday or Monday. Typically, I choose Monday because I like my weeks to be a Monday start. The monthly, I tend to like to be a Sunday start, but because I often use planner cake kits, that allows me to redate it. So I'm really excited to try this out during the month of it's starting July, and then you have this space here as well. Now, the other thing that's cool about this, and like, don't come at me because not everyone is going to agree, but you could pull these off when they're finished, almost like, a wall, well, not, I feel like with a wall calendar, you don't really pull it off, but it kind of feels like one of those pop-up calendars that each day you rip off. But it could be helpful if you don't want to have like too much bulk. But also, I don't know that I would ever really rip out my planner pages. So I don't know. It's just an idea there. So you're just going to have these months, and then you shift to August and you have the same pages. September, October. There's going to be no differences here. But I like that the holidays are pre-printed. It's really good. One of the things that I think this could be amazing for is expense tracking. I'm hesitant to say budgeting because there's not going to be anywhere in something like this for you to actually like list out your monthly budget and all of that. But if you wanted to have your bills here and your excuse me, your spending here, you could do that. If you don't need a ton of space to budget, you could use this space. But I think that if you're just really looking to be mindful and tracking your expenses, this could be a really good way to use that. Now, I wanted to experiment a little bit with what this would look like if you wanted to decorate it. Because this is a brand new layout and size, companies haven't made products for it yet. I would guess at some point Planner Kate will create something for it, and I'm sure other small shops as well. But I wanted to kind of play around and show you, test it out and see what we can do. Now, I have these stickers from Live Love Posh. These are from Functionally Chic, uh, pink blooms. And what I'm going to do here is take my knife. I feel like actually, oh yeah, I want to do it this way. What I'm doing is centering the days of the week. I need to go down. Centering the days of the week as best I can over the column width, and then use a knife to slice through. And then over here as well, I'm going to cut off Wednesday a tiny bit. And then, as I was saying, if you wanted to redate this so that it had a Sunday start, because I like a Sunday start, I can now put these here and they're going to fit perfectly. Well, almost perfectly. They'd fit perfectly if I cut things properly. That's where my challenge always comes in. But these are a great way to add color to your month. Say, oops, now we're getting all those little sticker remnants. Friday and Saturday. Okay, that looks really cute. Now, of course, I'm going to need something to redate this. It would honestly be a lot easier to leave this as sorry, my words, to leave this as a Monday start, because the days of the week don't have holidays pre-filled, but like there are holidays pre-filled in the months, but it's okay because I have a plan. There's always a plan. So if July 1st, this is where I always screw up. I need to look at a calendar because now, like looking at this, I can't figure out when July 1st is. I know it goes one way, but I feel like I'm going to mess it up. Okay, so July 1st is actually a Tuesday. That should have been easy for me to just flip. So if I grab stickers here just to redate, you can use any stickers to do this redating. Then we now have a properly dated, we'll deal with the holidays, properly dated monthly calendar. And the stickers, these are from Monthly Basics by Kelly LaPlan. These are actually probably short enough that I wouldn't have had to cut, but I really wanted the bright pink because I feel like in a planner of this size, there's not a ton of space to decorate. And so finding the opportunities to add decor is something that you need to do if you want it to be decorative. And one opportunity for decor is always going to be the days of the week. Okay, so now that we are redated, and I even dated these, I'm just going to use my correction or my white Uniball Signo pen to cover up the holidays since those are on the wrong days. And then I want to find 4th of July or Independence Day, depending on how it's listed in this. Let's see. 4th of July. This should actually fit really nicely right here. Yes, that's good. And then we have my birthday. We're going to put this right here. Oh, that fits so nicely. I love when a sticker just fits perfectly. This is Monthly Basics by Kelly LaPlan. Then we also have another birthday sticker. And I'm going to put this over here for my nephew. I'm liking how this is coming out. Okay, now I was trying to figure out what boxes would fit here, and I don't know that there are going to be any. It's possible that Mojo Jojo Plan's mini boxes may fit. I don't know though that I have any like accessible to try, but I just had another thought. If I pull out the shapes stickers, purple, I'm looking for like a bright pink here. A lot of showcasing new product, especially a new planner layout, is going to be experimenting. A lot of experimenting. I think that these should actually work here. Yeah, that works. So on the 18th, I'm so excited. My friend and I bought tickets to see Billy Joel and Rod Stewart. With her husband and my boyfriend. I feel like that's one of those like once in a lifetime kind of concerts. So I'm really excited about it. And it's at Yankee Stadium in New York City. And I've never been to a concert at Yankee Stadium, and I think it's going to be awesome. Okay, so now we have like some of the basics. The other thing I wanted to show actually while we're in here is, let's go back to those pink ones, because I still have 2 more planners to show you. I feel like I could just spend this whole day in video demonstrating. Maybe it's not the black pink, maybe it's the black. Yeah. So if I wanted to also use like payday stickers, we can put these. These would fit really nicely. I do have a payday on my birthday as well, but I feel like, I don't know, there's one smaller one that I could probably fit in here. Let's see, payday. Like that. We could do that. And then of course there's other birthdays as well. I feel like because I'm using a Calva Plan sticker book, I can't do this video without noting Heather's birthday as well. So July is a very busy month of birthdays. So we're gonna write Heather, my nephew, 13, official teenager. Okay, so I feel like we're good with this for now. But what I wanted to also experiment with, oops, it's falling, is adding some decor. I also feel like it's getting a little bit dark in here. I think, yeah, it just started raining. So if the video just got like a little bit weirdly dark, that's why. I apologize. But floral stickers are a really great way to add decor in your planner. They're just, if you like florals, of course, you have to like florals in order to make this work. But I feel like, especially in a planner like this where there isn't a ton of room, florals are going to be your friend here. So I'm trying to find ones that might be like the right size. The sticker book is so emptied out, but I'm really trying to get it used up. So even by taking a floral, cutting it in half, adding it here, and then we can do another one right over here. Just go up a tiny bit there. That's pretty. And then depending on whether or not you feel like you need the like later days in the month or the next month, really, you can do the same thing like over here and up top. So if I took this one and put it right here, and then this is going to be a little bit tall, so let's go down a tiny bit with this, a little more than a tiny bit, and put this here. And then what I would do is just lift up the 30 and put it back right there. Okay, so like very simple. This top part I probably wouldn't decorate at all. What I would do is use dot markers as my to-dos. So I would just pop them in like this. I feel like dot markers are a really great way to quickly add lists. I love bullet point stickers, but let me tell you, the amount of time I've spent in my life putting down bullet point stickers painstakingly, one at a time. You peel it off the sheet, you put it down on the planner, and it's just like, oh, but I love that these dot markers just make things so much easier. I mean, realistically, on the 4th, I probably don't need a full to-do list because it's the 4th of July. But what actually, you know what? That's a really good experiment. Hold on a second. Let's take, this is going to be too wide. I already know, but we're going to fix it. So I'm going to cut this. We're going to do some sticker surgery here. I feel like I cut that very crookedly. And then I actually want to cover up the bullet points I put down. I don't get to experiment a ton in planners anymore. I feel like I'm always planning. So the experimenting part is really fun for this. Okay, so, oh, that's too tall there too. I didn't even think about that. Silly me. Okay, we're gonna double sticker surgery. Put this down. Like I said, I do why is this not? Oh, because this needs to go down. Okay. I do expect shops to create product at some point for this. But in the meantime, you got to get a little creative. Okay. It would be a little bit cleaner if I cut off completely and just put that edge down, but just for sake of time and this being demonstration, I didn't really feel like I needed to do that. Okay, so we're going to write 4th of July. And then I'm sure this weekend we will be down the shore at James's family beach house. Okay, so that is the pop-up planner. I love it. I think it's really great, and I'm really excited to see how it does. I have a feeling it's going to sell out. All right, now I want to talk about these book-bound planners. I already said I'm obsessed with the cover and the feeling of it. It's just like this velvety, butter soft cover. And then you see the tiny details here. We have 2025 to 2026, and then cute little flower. And then the back, this is like almost like embossed. I feel like embossed is lifted. I guess it's lifted, yeah, but it's really light. Now, there's two options here. They are the same cover. I don't know if there was a reason to have the same color. There's no other options besides these colors, but we're gonna look at each one. I don't know which is which because of the cover, but we're gonna see. So really beautiful print on the inside. And this is the horizontal weekly. So you have the opening page, the horizontal weekly. You're going to have the year overview with all the holidays and things to remember for each month. Then we have the month, and this sits really nicely. There's also ribbons in here. Let me pull the ribbons out. You have two different ribbons. I really like the pink and the blue together. I think it's a pretty combination. So there's two ribbons. You could put one in the month, one in the week. There's no like rubber band that closes it or pen loop or anything like you sometimes see in book-bound journals or planners, but this is the month, and then we open it and we have the weekly. I purchased this because I think this would be a really great planner to use as a journal. And I love my dot grid bullet journal, but I wanted to show this. Some of the things that I purchase when I have the opportunity to are not necessarily because I'm going to be personally using them, but because my job as a content creator is to show you things that may work for you. I've said this before with like faith planners and things like that, even though it's something that I may not use, I think that my audience will like, then I'll share it. So we have the horizontal. So you're going to have the entire week. I like that each day has a full box, sometimes we see a split weekend, and this is really nice and full. And then we have the to do today. If you were going to use this as a planner, I would, you know what, let's pull out stickers, because I feel like the goal here is to show you how to use these. Actually, I don't want to use up 3 different pages, so I think that we're going to use this first week to demonstrate a few different ways to use this. So first up, I need stickers. I feel like because we were already using these, I may as well just continue. There's not a lot left in this sticker book anyway, and maybe I'll get through my goal of um, of using it up. So what you could do, actually, I don't think I have many box stickers left. There's only a few. So let's say that this first set here is going to be for plans. So I could put a box in here for a plan, and you could also put a box over here. And then we could add a little bit more. We could add a little bit of decor, but I could also use things like a payday sticker, or goals would also be really good for this. Let's take a goals sticker, because this is where, actually, I like this part here for goals, this sidebar. You could do goals there, and then you could also do like bills to pay or something in that section. So let's say, I'm sure on July 1st, I'll have a Patreon budget Zoom. It's usually on the first Tuesday of the month. So I'll write that here as a plan. And then over here, I could write payday. And then because we have the to do here, we don't really need the like decorative part or the functional part of this side besides other plans. So what you could do is take something like a quote sticker, or on this side, if you have a family whose schedule you're managing, you could put anything that anyone has during that day. Then over here is where we can jump in with the bullets. You could even do 2 sets. You can get a lot of functionality out of this. And of course, I mean, I don't need to show you how to write a to-do list, but to do that. Now, the next way that I think that using this, like I said, as a journal or place of reflection is to be able to write here. So let's just, I can't journal about 3 months from now, so let's just pretend that I'm journaling about yesterday. So yesterday was so much fun. I worked a half day. Actually, I kind of worked a 3/4 day. And then we went to Sean and Danielle's wedding. A beautiful couple and wonderful night celebrating their love. Now, over here, I think that you could use this space for a couple of different ways. Again, you could add photos in here and do some memory keeping, or you could use this space to kind of reflect. So like this is the journaling part to sort of recap the day. This could be something of like, this is what worked, maybe this is what didn't work. So I really tried to conserve my energy. I didn't exercise or film because I wanted to be well rested. Even so, I was exhausted by midnight. So just like a different way to reflect on the day. So like I said, this part is what happened, and this part is like thinking about what worked, what didn't, and maybe moving forward. So I think that this is a really good layout and it has a lot of versatility, which is great because horizontal layouts are something that don't always work for me personally, but I think that for those they do work for, they really work. So that's the horizontal planner. So you have each week, this is dated, and then at the end of the week, at the end of the month, you'll have the next month. And that's the planner. There's not that much more to show about it. In the back here, though, you have planning ahead, yearly wins, yearly lessons, and then you have all of this graph paper that can be used, and then dot paper for a ton, and you have a pocket folder in the back. So that is the horizontal weekly planner in book form. Now we have the vertical version of the book planner. So you'll have the same opening pages, and then you have the same month and the weekly. I'm so excited about this weekly because it has everything without having too much. So you have a nice size sidebar here. We have vertical lines, we have vertical lines, which now that I've been using my Moxie Life vertical for over 3 months, I really love having lines in my planner. And then this dot grid section down here. And what I love most about the dot grid section is the fact that you can use it for so many things. You can make a grocery list. You can do bills that you need to pay for the week. You can have a section for goals. I feel like there's so many ways that you can use this. So I wanted to do a little bit of experimenting. I pulled out some like used sheets I had from a planner Kate kit. I actually don't have a ton of like leftover stickers because once I use a kit, I do tend to throw away any leftovers because I just don't need them. But what I wanted to show you is that the Planner Kate full boxes fit really nicely here. Let's also test five. Yeah, let's also test Mojo Jojo boxes because I feel like when you're looking at a new layout, you want to see how the product you already have is going to work in that layout, and these fit really nicely as well. What I like the most about the way both of these fit is that there's open space on the side, and it's not going to feel like everything is tucked tightly against each other because I like having some room in my planner. And then this is a journaling kit, which really you could use in any planner, but just to kind of show how like some decor would, fit into this, or if you wanted to take like washi strip and come across this way. Now you can cut it here, but you don't have to. You can also just continue to like go across that way. I feel like that's upside down actually. I feel like but maybe we can put it down here rather than turn it over. Or, what would be even cuter is to have it kind of going over that box a little bit. And then even here, we can just kind of trim and cut. I feel like that's good. Now, I wanted to show you how these stickers fit, but I actually am going to remove them. The beauty of Planner Kate stickers. I may have trouble removing the Mojo Jojo box, but what I want to do is actually plan in this for the week that I'm currently on, because I want to show you how I would use it. Although, you know what? Maybe we just stick with gray for this. Maybe we do a gray theme, because I feel like I'm not going to be able to get this off, but I really don't need to. So I'm going to go really neutral with this. I pulled out Functionally Noir by Live Love Posh, and I thought it would be pretty to add in like some fun elements like this. I'm kind of wanting to go a little bit more gray. I know of a sticker book here, it is beautifully lined, that has these. This is what I was thinking of. So we're gonna pull this off. I really need to use my tweezers. We also have to redate this, so I'll get to that after I do this part. And I think, let's see how we do this. Again, experimenting. There's a hair on my sticker. Trying to be really careful here. And then I'll use my white line to cover. There's also, as I'm doing this, there's also a lot of other products that are launching in this release. So if you love Laurel, Denise, but these may not be for you, definitely check out the other products that are going to be available, because these are just the ones that, I chose. When I'm purchasing product to share, I do, try to be more mindful about what I'm buying and how much I'm spending, because sometimes they are just to showcase and not to use. But I want to see, I would like to see how this works for me. I think that this may not help me get affiliate sales, but one of the things that I will say is I love this. The problem is, what does it replace, right? Like if I use this, I can't necessarily, or I don't necessarily need to, I don't need the planner. This is not going to work this way. I have to figure out something to do here. I don't need the extra planner. So if I use this, does something else get taken off of my list of planners I'm using? I think that that's an important decision to make when you're looking to buy a planner, or you're, spending money, is what problem does it solve, or what purpose does it have? And if you're able to buy the planner and you're not entirely sure, but it's something that you really like and you want to experiment with, like I am today, that's fine as well. I'm struggling a little bit here with the book bound, but I think it's just because I have to move the whole thing. But even with a planner that has that's not on discs, the same thing would happen. I just kind of want to use this, so we're going to put it here. I don't want to put it back in the sticker book that it came in. So we're going to just trim right there. Okay, I need to find the cap to my knife, because I don't trust myself enough to have the knife just sitting here. So let's get this redated. So pulling out, I could probably pull out Monthly Basics since I already have it sitting here. And we're gonna go to, let's see, where are the months? I don't know if there's a gray, but black is fine for this. Let's do April, and I'm gonna cover up this part. It's the one thing with, future dated planners, is you can't always use them right away. And then we want feel like I thought these had days of the week. Do they not? Oh, they do, right over here. Okay, so those are, that's black, that's gray. This is kind of like a green. Let's go for the black. So I'm gonna cover up these. We don't need the Canada Day either. And we want Monday, and I'm actually gonna shift it over and put the date right there. Tuesday, Wednesday, and then these two. Thursday, Saturday. I know I didn't do that in a super clean way, but for the sake of demonstration. Sunday. Okay. April 7th. Yeah. 7th, 8th, 9th. This monthly basic sticker book is really good. I feel like I haven't used it a ton. Kind of forget about it sometimes with so much product, but it's really, really good. 10, 11, 12. Oops. My coffee keeps getting in the way because it's saying, drink me, drink me. And then 13th. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to pull out, let's see, functional boxes. We already have functional boxes series 5 out, I think. You know what? I'm just going to grab gray boxes and more because that's what's in front of me. So now let's plan the week. So the first thing I'm going to do is put in boxes for plans. And I did go a little bit heavy on the the florals here, so that's just is what it is. And then we can put this in. And then Thursday, I don't think I have anything, but Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as usual, are packed. So because I don't love when the boxes are all stacked with each other, I'm just going to kind of alternate them here. If you're seeing that this is kind of a different color background wise than that, yeah, I think it's just because the sticker book is old, so it's kind of yellowed a little bit. And we're going to put those there. Now, let's go back to monthly basics. And we're going to also pull out payday sticker here. And then back here we have appointment. And I think that's that for there. Now, if I go to holidays, I'm scanning through. I feel like sometimes looking at the full page, it was helpful. There we go. Passover. That's what I was looking for. So Passover actually starts on Saturday, but my family is celebrating it on Friday because next week starts spring break, and my brother and a lot of my cousins with kids, whose children are school aged, all my cousins have kids, but the ones who are school aged are going away for spring break. Most of them are going away on Saturday. And so in my family, we do a holiday when everyone can be there. It doesn't always matter if it's not the actual day of the holiday. So I'm going to use my bullet marker again, my dot marker, and this is where we're going to add in the to-dos. So really, oh, Thursday we have nothing, so we could do a lot of things on Thursday. No, I'll use a quote or something. I don't need to completely fill all of these, but I think we're actually going to swap the location of this. And then Sunday. So I pulled out a quote sticker book, didn't I? Where's that sticker book? Rainbow quotes. I like this one. Strength grows in the moments where you think you can't go on, but you keep going anyway. That's a good one. And I'm going to put it here, and then we'll just use my white pen to cover up. These bullets are so light that I feel like they barely need the cover up, but I'm just going to kind of go light here. I also really like that the line, that didn't really work. I also like that the lines on this are really light, because you can't even really see them much through the clear stickers. Sorry. Okay, now let's do, instead of swapping the location, actually no, I kind of want to swap the location. Okay, we'll do it, because then I realized those two quotes were next to each other and I didn't really want that. So we'll put this here, and then we'll come back with our dots down here. Can't put dots down straight to save my life. Okay, so Monday, let's get comfortable and get ready to write. Monday, neurologist. At 2:35. Tuesday is Patreon co-working Zoom at 7 p.m. I guess if we're doing, I don't really put much AM stuff because I work, so I don't have many AM things to put on my planner. Wednesday night, we are going to dinner at my mom and stepdad's house. They have a TV that needs to be hung, and James is going to take care of that for them. Then Friday, we have Passover at Mom and Mark's, 4:30 p.m. Saturday is going to be dinner for James' birthday. There's not a time set for that yet, I don't think, but there's a location. Okay, then Sunday, I think it's dinner. So every once in a while on my channel, I mention my stepsister. I don't mention her a ton because I haven't seen her in a long time. Last time I saw her, I think, was August of 2023. She lives in Wisconsin, and she hasn't been back in a long time, but she is coming in this weekend for Passover with her boyfriend. So we're going to get to meet her boyfriend. She's going to get to meet James. So I'm really excited. So we're going to have dinner with them on Sunday, even though we'll see them Friday. There are 30 people coming to Passover at my mom's on Friday. I have a pretty big family, and so we're just going to have a separate dinner, with the family. So dinner with Melanie. You do see a Melanie in my planner a lot. That's my best friend, the one that has two sons, Ethan and Max. This Melanie is my stepsister. Actually, the really crazy part about it is that they have the same last name as well. My best friend is now married, so she no longer has that last name, but her maiden name and my stepsister's are the exact same first and last name. And it was always really funny because I had to have them as different things in my phone. So I always had my stepsister in my phone as Little Mel because we are 9 years apart. And when I first added her in my phone, she was little. She is now 5'11", maybe 5'10", 5'11", and I am 5'2". If you didn't know, I'm quite short. So she is no longer little, but she's still in my phone as Little Mel because I don't think I ever changed my best friend's last name in my phone when they got married. I feel like for my childhood friends, like, I mean, obviously I know that they're married and I know their new last name, but I don't know, they just stay in my phone. So dinner with Melanie and Nate. And I don't have a date, like a time or a location for that yet. So those are the big plans. Sorry, that was like a lot of information, but the coffee is kicking in and my energy is coming. And then these are going to be all of the to-dos, and we'll put those in each day. And just like some examples of what my to-do will look like each day is like Monday, I'll write the PK launch because I'll want to share that. Monday is also payday, so that is when I update my budget. And then actually on Monday, I also want to pay my taxes because they are due next week, but I want to get that taken care of. Tuesday we'll take out trash. Thursday is going to be plastic recycling. Friday is also going to be takeout trash. On Wednesday, we have this launch. If you're still here, this has been a quite long video, I think. 12 p.m. And I think maybe that's it for now for this top part. For the bottom, I had a couple of ideas about different ways that I could use it. Let me come back to monthly basics just because it's out and see. Actually, I was going to use a section for bills, but I don't have any bills due this week. So you could use a section for bills if you had bills that were due, but I don't. So instead, I'm going to try something a little bit different. And I'm going to pull out the Healthy Habits sticker book by Kell of a Plan. And there's certain stickers that I'm looking for. Let's see. We could do a water tracker. That could be fun here. It could fit nicely as well. I also was looking for a weekly tracker for reading. Here we go. Reading. And I was looking for one for exercise. We can use the sneaker for that. Let's put this one here, this one here, and then the water one can go right over here. And then on this side, I wanted to do goals for the week. But again, if I had bills to pay, I may do that. So we're going to write goals. And then over here, I think I have a sticker for it instead of writing it down. Maybe not. I was looking for a priorities sticker. Where did I see that before? Something I opened today had a priorities, but okay. And then I could take my bullets again and add priorities, or actually really to do, because this is a lot of priorities. But I would really just list out all of the to-dos. And then for the goals, I could do color coding, or I could just do categorizing. So actually, let's see, goals. We're gonna do health, home, personal development, relationship, work, and family and friends. Okay, this is, I think it's a zebra blend. I don't know if it's going to work with the highlighting, but we're going to try. There's a little bit of a smudge. I feel like I don't really need to be going over it twice. It's better when you go over it once. I just wrote a little too big. Okay, and that is a way to use this planner. Should we recap? Let's recap. Release is at 12 p.m. Eastern. Code at least 10 will give you a discount. This is the book-bound vertical weekly. This is the book-bound horizontal weekly. And then we cannot forget the brand new pop-up planner, which is really cool and I'm really excited about. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed just sitting here and like not rushing and just kind of playing around. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. If you are shopping, please do consider using my affiliate link and code Elise10 for a discount. Thanks so much for your support and I'll see you next time.